Nothing but stars in the sky. Snow on the mountain as far as I can see. And these miles roll so fast up behind. I'm headed to Butler's for Christmas. I'm coming in out of the cold. I'm headed to Butler's for Christmas, oh yeah, 'cause Christmas is when you head home. Walk in and Pam gives a smile. David might manage a grin. Smell that coffee brewing for miles. Kevin Burton, he won't stop talking. I'm headed to Butler's for Christmas. I'm coming in out of the cold. Butler's for Christmas, oh yeah, 'cause Christmas is when you head home. I'm headed to Butler's for Christmas. I'm coming in out of the cold. I'm headed to Butler's for Christmas, oh yeah, 'cause Christmas, it's when you head home. 'Cause Christmas is when you head home. 'Cause Christmas is when
Paul Barton plays piano for elephants. The piano, fountainhead to a congregation of sick, abused, retired elephants. A man's hands skim the keys. Animals stop, listen, flap ears, reach trunks around to sniff aura of the instrument, aspect of the man. Elephants straggling about, free now, shielded. The piano sitting on the dirt in a park, surrounded. Picture it, man playing Bach to a creature large enough to kill him, stomp up his keyboard. The elephant stands transfixed. The man gives bananas at first to make a good impression. It helps them memorize his smell, connect him to the sounds. He walks with a group sometimes, the blind ones. Even if they knew where the piano once got its keys, what would they do? Crush it? This cruel, splendid coincidence, this moonlight sonata under the stars, these behemoths swaying.
The Contessas were a mid-1960s Inland Empire singing quartet that was the brainchild of former IE resident and future Grammy Award winner Jimmy Webb. The group members were Alice Wheaton, Susie Horton, Suzanne Weir, and Sharon Johnson. Alice was from Redlands, Susie from Colton, Suzanne from San Bernardino, and Sharon from Bloomington. The roots of Jimmy Webb's involvement with the Contessas date back to his 1963-64 senior year at Colton High School in California. It was there that he met fellow senior Susie Horton. Horton was a dancer, captain of the Colton High drill team, a member of the high school choir, and the football homecoming queen. Webb was the musically talented new kid in school transfer from Oklahoma. His father had moved the family to Colton when he took a pastoral position at a Baptist church in the city. By the end of the 1963-64 school year, Horton and Webb became a couple. After high school graduation, both headed to San Bernardino Valley College, where Horton became a member of the SBVC choir. Webb became the piano accompanist for the group. Webb at the time was an aspiring songwriter intent on breaking into the music industry. He needed a group to demo the songs he was composing. He handpicked the 4 members from the Valley College Choir. He then began the process of shaping them into a singing group, the Contessas. It was determined that Suzanne would be front and center as the lead singer because of her 4-octave range voice, and the other 3 would be the backup vocalists. The Contessas performed at a variety of local venues. This San Bernardino Sun newspaper notice had them performing at a junior women's club and School of Hope haunted house in October 1965. Enter George Clements, who fronted the money and teamed with Jimmy Webb to record the Contessas' first 45. Clements produced while Webb arranged and conducted the session. No expense was spared as members of the legendary Wrecking Crew studio musicians were booked to play the backing instrumental tracks. Among those performing were former Inland Empire resident Hal Blaine on drums, Tommy Tedesco on guitar, Joe Osborne on bass, and Larry Knechtel on keyboards. After the session, drummer Blaine was particularly encouraging to Webb, telling him, "I know this is all confusing, but you just stick with the music, okay?" The A-side was "This Is Where I Came In," and the B-side was "I Keep On Keepin' On." Both sides of the single were composed by Jimmy Webb. The E in E Records was a nod to E Street in San Bernardino, where cruising was the name of the game for Inland Empire youth. The publishing company for the tunes was Purdue Music. Purdue was local slang for San Bernardino. Meanwhile, Jimmy Webb acquired an entry-level position at Motown's Jobette Music Company Incorporated as a staff songwriter. It was this connection that Webb hoped would boost both his songwriting aspirations and the singing career of the Contessas. In Jimmy Webb's 2017 book, The Cake and the Rain, he spoke about the last days of the Contessas. He wrote, "The Contessas single fluttered unsteadily toward the sky and rock and roll heaven in the summer of '65 and came up short, plunging to earth after a few short weeks. Still, the ladies had created enough excitement that Motown West Coast president Mark Gordon offered them a recording contract at Motown. It was exactly as I had pictured it. And then, unaccountably, the Contessas began to talk about breaking up. Almost simultaneously, Mark Gordon resigned or was canned at the label. I found myself superfluous, and Jobette let me out of my songwriting contract. Sharon went back to Colton and married guitarist Greg Waitman. Alice went home as well and enrolled in classes with the intention of pursuing her dancing aspirations. Suzanne Weir threw up her hands at the unpredictability of show business and headed back toward academic circles. Susan Horton ended up at an insurance desk installed in an imposing skyscraper that stood just west of MacArthur Park near Wilshire Boulevard. And thus ended the tale of the Contessa's singing career. But for Jimmy Webb, his involvement with the Contessas was about to pay off dividends in the future. After leaving Motown, Mark Gordon became the manager-producer of singing group The Fifth Dimension. Remembering Jimmy Webb's work with the Contessas, Gordon paired The Fifth Dimension with Jimmy Webb in a relationship that was to be beneficial to both. The Fifth Dimension is seen here with engineer-producer Bones Howe and Jimmy Webb. The group recorded Webb's song Up, Up and Away. The tune was released as a 45 in the summer of 1967 and reached number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The session drummer for the single was none other than Hal Blaine, who had encouraged Webb during the Contessa's first recording session in 1965. Up, Up and Away won 6 Grammys, including Record and Song of the Year, for 1967. Mark Gordon is seen here to the right of The Fifth Dimension and Jimmy Webb at the February 1968 Grammy Awards ceremony. Jimmy Webb's off-and-on relationship with Susie Horton would end up being a gold mine of inspiration that Webb would mine into such classic songs as Richard Harris's MacArthur Park, the Brooklyn Bridges' Worst That Could Happen, Glenn Campbell's Wichita Lineman, and By the Time I Get to Phoenix. But that's a tale to be told at another time. Stay tuned for a performance by the Contessas of their single This Is Where I Came In, aired on the Chivalry TV show on October 30th, 1965.
Brutus, get in the picture.
Come here. Yeah, he's coming here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Okay. There he is. Here's whoa. You stepped on it again. Hey, Brutus, say hello to the people. Say hello to the people, Brutus.
Walk like a people.
Poor life choices.
Exactly. Number 3, poor life choices. Right.
Yes. I couldn't stay that dark for
Not for too long.
no.
But it's nice that it's cool that it gets rocked up. You know, as I said, we've heard all the Friday versions on acoustic, and then it's like, well, it takes a little step up, gets a little faster.
Yeah. And in my head, I wanted it to sound like the Who. I mean, as I was writing it, I was thinking of it that way, but there were no bands, there were no gigs. It was the pandemic time. I mean, we were all lost on the inside. We're all locked away. Yeah. So I felt the song was strong. Friends of mine, Jim Dalton and Roger Klein, like, wow, they'd heard it once or twice, me messing with it. And that's a real strong song. Okay. So I started bringing it into the Friday night shows.
Yeah, right.
Acoustically, make it more kind of pop. But in my head, it always kind of sounded like the Who.
Yeah.
All the big drums, which I ended up like playing on like crazy, you know. I wanted Keith Moon to be the drummer for Poor Life Choices.
Yeah.
Which, I'm going to have to put out an acoustic version of that song because I think it's going to scare a few people who have heard nothing but the acoustic version. It's going to be a little sonically startling to people, which is okay. It's okay to scare people. Right. It's probably a good thing.
I like that it got rocked up because it
got very rocked up. Yeah.
And Keith Moon did make some poor life choices. So
yeah, good point. Yeah.
Last night I think I made some poor life choices. Yeah, if I had another chance, would I make better plans? Do the same thing anyway. Yeah. Would I make poor life choices? I'm gonna live and die with poor life choices. I'll just take my empty cup and rip that out.
Should I do some? Okay, remember this, Chris?
Yeah.
Old owl. Why is old owl? Why is old owl? And then let's see. Rattlesnake. So obviously, if I'm going to dare to try my hand at this song with so many layers and such a universal level of pain, then I've got to do it justice. And I just picked up a guitar one day and started singing it in that particular way. And I felt like I was kind of getting near the truth of it, the heart and the seed of the song. Yeah. I can't think of anything more universal than time hurts before it heals. It hurts before you can feel. Listening to it, it's one of my favorite moments on the entire record. And at the very end, I know you've noticed that the very last time I do the chorus, the very, very tail end, I changed chords up.
Right.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Went from major to minor.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to give it that last little power.
Yeah.
As it flew away.
It's a little lift. It adds a little lift. I heard that chord change, man. You got it immediately. And it just came naturally. I mean, what if I just put a different minor chord into a slightly different melody to finalize the song? It's like the amen. It's like an amen at the end of a prayer. Yeah.
Time hurts, and I changed the melody. And of course, Philip and his dad went right with me on the pedal steel and the upright bass because they're both just such brilliant players. And they supported that kind of came out of nowhere chord variation on your beautiful song.
Yeah. No, much appreciated. I mean, how cool to have the song that we've shared. I mean, I knew about, or you've been telling me for many, many years that you wanted to record this song to finally hear it today.
Yeah.
It was just great. It was a wonderful experience. I appreciate it deeply.
Yeah. If I'd shown it to you a month ago and you went, I don't know. It's okay, Johnny. It's it's not bad. Then I would have just chucked it in the dustbin. So I'm glad I waited because I thought I had arrived at a good place with it. And
yes. My father died when I was a young man. I wandered for most of a year. And once in a while, I still think of him when I see my eyes in the mirror. Time hurts, it hurts before you can feel. Time hurts, it hurts before it heals.
Yeah, and what Chris isn't telling you is that Blue Wagon thing, the first song, one take all the way through. I thought it was a practice take. No, now we're done.
Yeah.
And the second one is like this little jam practice session. He's like showing me a song for the very first time. You know, I've never heard this, and that's on there. And the third song is like this 4-track that he did in a hotel. Sounds like he's stoned or something, and I'm not really sure what the heck he was doing there, but it was all locked on, all 4 tracks are locked on one track in here, so he couldn't really alter it. So we like added all this other like random things to it, and it's just a trip.
It makes for
everything is like one take. Oh, we're done.
Yes.
So it's like, wow.
We don't waste time, except for now. Here we go.
When the dream came, I held my breath with my eyes closed. I went insane like a smoke ring day when the wind blows. But I won't be back till later on if I do come back at all. Because you know me. And I miss you now. In a strange game, I saw myself as you knew me. When the change came, I had a chance to see through me. Though the other side is just the same, you can't tell my dream is real. Because I love you and I miss you now. Though we rush ahead to save our time, we are only what we feel. Because I love you.
Love you.
Can you feel it now? 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 Can you?
Lisa Nemitz.
Break it down, he come. Break it down, he come. Break it down, everything is wrong. Break it down, he come.
Tell you, baby, what it means to me. See you coming back, all windows in black. Tell you, baby, what it means to me. Pillow door in a burnout shack. Running hard, ain't coming back. I'm on fire, yeah, the devil's on my tail. Running hard, ain't coming back. Pave that road to go. Pave that road to go. Pave that road, yeah, hide the blood inside. Pave that road to go. Same old night, same old day. Same old night, same old way. I got money, oh, I ain't got the time. I ain't got the time, I ain't got a dime. When I got the time, I ain't got a dime.
drummer said. It's alive.
Among the many victims in Friday's terror attacks in Paris was a college student from Southern California. Yesterday, hundreds gathered at Cal State Long Beach for a vigil in honor of 23-year-old Noemi Gonzalez. She was spending a semester studying design near Paris and was killed while dining at a restaurant. U.S. Poet Laureate Juan Felipe Herrera wrote a poem dedicated to her for yesterday's vigil, and Timothy White, the chancellor of the Cal State University system, read it.
With candles we stand and we kneel. This is how it is now. We, well, all of us, we, send you these flowers across time, this time here which we cannot explain. All love goes to you and your friends the other nights, so many with you, gone. We stand. We play Lennon's Piano Imagine. We say a world without violence. We want to imagine that in your name. Noemi Gonzalez of El Monte, from Whittier, California, from Cal State Long Beach. Then we run out of words. The words, so many words. Your cousin Jacqueline, your mother, Beatrice, we know them now for you. We write them a poem too. I do not know how we will do that. We are doing that. That is all. Like the designs you made for a high-spirited world. You said you were high-spirited, self-driven, yes? Like the dreams you had, like the words first generation. The ones you used to describe your life. We continue with you somehow. It is not important to know how. It is important to continue. That is all. I must say it again. We are all writing a poem for you, for your mama, Beatrice Gonzalez, for your cousin, Jacqueline. She loved you. That love will make it all right. That love will make it all right. Yes. Here is your song, Mimi. We light Noemi a candle. The candle waves across the stars. Close, they are so close because Noemi and Paris are in our hearts.
Thanks to Southern California Public Radio reporter Sharon McNary for that audio recording, a poem written by U.S. Poet Laureate Juan Felipe Herrera for 23-year-old Noemi Gonzalez, a Cal State Long Beach student who was killed in Friday's attacks in Paris.
I want to sing a song for John Prine, who is a friend and a fellow singer-songwriter, and his wife Fiona. John is in critical condition on a ventilator from COVID-19, and his wife has tested positive. John, the song that I've sung of yours has been one of the most requested songs in my repertoire for over 40 years. So let me sing it to you, send along with my best wishes and prayers. Had an apartment in the city. Me and Loretta like living there. It's been years since the kids have grown, lives of their own, left us alone. John and Linda live in Omaha. Joey's somewhere on the road. you're lonesome, waiting for someone to say hello in there. Hello. Me and Loretta, we don't talk much more. She sits and stares at the back door screen. All the news just repeats itself like some forgotten dream that we both see. Someday I'll go and I'll call up Rudy. We work together at the factory. What'll I tell him if he asks what's new? Nothing wants with you. There's nothing much to do. No trees just grow stronger, and the rivers grow wilder every day. But old people, they just grow lonesome, waiting for someone to say hello in there. Hello. So if you're walking down the street sometime, you spot some hollow vacant eyes, please don't pass them by instead, like you didn't care. Say hello in there. Hello. Say hello in there. Hello.
We were
Click on there. Welcome everybody to the Lo-Fi Lounge with all my friends. Look at all my friends all in a space. How great is that? And we're here today to talk about a very unique wedding. And Rebecca, tell us about the wedding, the CAMPOUT Wedding.
Well, Russell and I had been engaged for almost a year, and we planned to elope. And since we were going to camp out anyway, we called Ari and said, how hard would it be to elope in California, on our way to camp out? And Ari said, why don't we do it at camp out? And at first I didn't want to crash the concert, but Ari talked me into it, and I'm so glad she did. It was like one of the best days of my life.
How complicated was it to put together a wedding in the midst of that for all you guys? Because you guys all were part of the planning. You were all a part of this intersection.
I probably had the easiest job. I just showed up, and Ari and her sister did all the preparation. Like Ari's sister even sat in town hall for me to do the records for us, so that we didn't have to.
She had to get the marriage license picked up for you. She was like, well, I could bring it since I'm coming in from LA. I'll just bring a marriage license with me. So she went and picked one up. And our brother Jason, I think, was your witness or something, right? Or he was just there to take some extra pictures. I don't remember.
Yes, you did all the work.
And it was easy for me. I've done so many weddings.
I can tell you've done so many weddings. It was just the best day of my life. Thank you.
Aww. And a lot of the coordination and planning actually goes down to Trixie, because where to stand, where to walk, when to when to come out from the room, all of that was our wedding planner / organizer. And so Trixie, share some of that planning with us.
Yeah, well, Rebecca had called me and asked if I would be a maid of honor for her wedding. Of course I said yes, and then she says, and it's going to be at CAMPOUT. And I said, okay, great. And I knew it was going to happen, and we were keeping it a secret, but we didn't really do any planning until she called me on Wednesday before it's Saturday and said, well, it's happening. I'm like, okay, well, what are you doing for music? I don't have any. And so Jason Switzer and my husband, Jeff Leonard, were there. And so I just went ahead and I said, they're doing music. Julie and Judy and Amy, I don't think that we really had anything in advance other than I was like the drill sergeant.
Very good at that.
You were so good.
What I remember is that, as everyone else has said, there really wasn't a whole lot of advanced planning. In fact, my plane landed in LA that Thursday. I was taxiing to the gate. I got a text from Rebecca, and she said, can you keep a secret? And I texted her back and I said, yes. And then I get to baggage claim and my phone rings. And it's Rebecca, and she's like, I'm getting married, on Russell and I are getting married at CAMPOUT on Saturday, and I want you to be my bridesmaid. And I was like, well, of course. I like Krista said, of course I said yes, but I was totally not, I was totally unprepared, which I think was part of, Rebecca's grand plan, that nobody was going to do anything special.
I was wearing what I had planned to wear on Saturday night too, and I was a little concerned.
Fabulous.
Well, I mean, part of the theme.
Oh, right. It was part of the theme for the night?
Yeah, it was Canada versus Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So we chose something to represent those countries.
Okay.
I'll look at the picture again to see my outfit.
I know Amy was Day of the Dead sort of thing.
Right, but I didn't actually change into my campout outfit until after the wedding, because that was going to be like makeup, and it was hot, and I was like, and I knew what was happening, so I'm like, dude, Stacy, we're going to be out there for like a long time, and I'm just, no, we'll do it after.
Yeah.
I had put up temporary rhinestone letters that said La Senora de, I don't remember where I said it was, de Sinaloa, like the
Sinaloa Cowboys. Yep.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen cracker song, Sinaloa Cowboys. And after the wedding, we went to a Mexican restaurant. I was so worried that I would offend the staff. And as we were leaving, the waiter followed us out into the parking lot. But oh dear. And then he asked if he could take a picture because he really liked the jacket and wanted to send the photo to his father who lives in Sinaloa.
I know I made an announcement. I don't remember what I said. But I
It was
gathered
something
everybody.
to the effect of, rounding everyone up and coming to the little house, and there's something you're not going to want to miss.
Right.
And so, herd mentality, people just were like, oh, we're going here now, and we were kind of like, well, come on, guys, come on. And, most of the people didn't even know what they were going to do. They're like, oh, what's happening here? This is new. There's something after the picture? Like, yes, there's something. Come. You don't want to miss this.
And I'm so glad you told me to go to the doctor. I was so sick on Thursday. I told the doctor that it was my wedding day, so he gave me a shot of penicillin in the butt.
That's just one of the things that I think is so great about our group is people will come together from all across the U.S., Canada, and overseas in Britain, I think Scotland too, and they all come together for a common purpose, which is to have communion with music in the desert. And it was just really special to have something that was reflective of the spirituality of being a part of something that's related to music and camaraderie and love. Chris, you're not going to believe what happened next.
What happened?
Is after the wedding, Brad Jones wanted to take some photos of Rebecca and Russell just kind of pose dancing as if they had their first dance.
Okay.
And so they went to the side of the cabin, and it was dust and a couple of, bushes and desert things. And right when they got out there for sound check, Rebecca, what happened?
They played our favorite song, New Roman Times.
There you go.
And I think how did you ever get them to do that, Trixie?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I think it was coincidence.
It was purely coincidence.
Okay. Talk to you all, you guys.
Bye. Talk to you. Bye. Bye, everybody. Bye, Rebecca, Julie, Chris, Amy, Trixie. Bye, all.
Like romper room, huh?
Hope to see you all soon. So long. Farewell.
Hey folks, thanks for hanging out at the Lo-Fi Lounge. We'll see you all next week. Wait, we got one more thing.